It's Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. It's Paddy's Day. I'm Chris.
I'm Martin.
I'm Richy.
And I'm Daz. It's Loaded Football. Run the intros, Martin.
I think that's enough of the old Celtic. Daz.
You're the joker, the expert, the voice, but you want of the crowd. A vision of weakness you don't.
Giagwich agus Cade Mila Forja. Law Ela Porrick, Sonadich. Over to you, Martin. It's Loaded Alcoholics today.
Loaded Alcoholics. I tell you what, 2 years in college, Daz, your Spanish is better than ever.
Cheers,
Unbelievable. So, yeah, here we are. Well, from an Irish perspective, it's just on a year since we were first locked down. And we still are locked down. But we still have drink. We still have internet. And we are still allowed to put this kind of crap on the airwaves and entertain you lot all on a night where we will bring you the best of music, loaded quiz, football, and everything else that we can bring you. So welcome, Paddy's Day 2021, wherever you are celebrating, whether you are English, Irish, or like Richy, something else, then, you know, let's enjoy and let's get cracking. So, Daz, what have we got tonight, pal? Where are we? What are we doing?
Okay, I think we'll start off with a bit of the usual, a bit of loaded headlines. Okay.
there was a bit more in the loaded there tonight, Daz. What's that about? Is that the new haircut that's forcing that? Or what's going on there?
No, just one bottle of
Loaded headlines.
Oh, wait till later on. I think I'm going to bring you first to the story about Angel Di Maria and PSG, really. A double burglary, lads. This is loaded crime call. So the Argentine who plays for PSG was playing against Nantes, as was Marquinhos. And, yeah, he was subbed at half-time. Or till getting during the game, really. So the call came from Leonardo asking Pochettino to take him off. Yeah, he was burgled and €500,000 worth of jewelry and watches were stolen. I think they came in through the basement, up the elevator into the second floor. His family was actually in the ground floor. They had no contact with the thieves, but yeah, it was very unfortunate. At the same time, then, there's a burglary with Marquinhos at the same time, and his house was burgled too. But I think his father, who was in the house at the time, was a bit roughed up. So not a great one for PSG. Anything like that ever happened in the Premier League? I think I remember some stories in was it Liverpool? You know anything about that one, Chris?
Yeah.
I seen that coming. No, I don't know personally about anything like that happening, but yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure it has happened to Liverpool players in the past when they've gone abroad, you know, playing in the Champions League or wherever they were, or the Europa at that time. One story which I do remember, and it's quite famous in Liverpool actually, and everyone loves it. I always remember that Duncan Ferguson's house got robbed one night. And I think there was 3 lads, and they broke into his house, and Duncan Ferguson must have heard them or knew it was coming. And apparently he was sat at the top of the stairs in the pitch black, waiting for them. And then they got to the bottom of the stairs, and apparently their asses just went. And Duncan Ferguson chased them out the house. I think he broke one of the jaws and all that. He absolutely went to town on them. Which the moral of the story is, don't go robbing people's houses. So they got what was coming to them, didn't they? But I always love that story because Big Dunk, he was something else, wasn't he?
Yeah. Who were the two? Who were the two? Was it two
Yeah,
West
Keith
Ham
said it. Yeah,
footballers?
Keith
Who were
knows
the,
it.
yeah, the Arsenal footballers. Was it Xhaka and who was the other one where they were held up at the side of the street and the two boys fought them off?
It was Socrates and
Xhaka, was it?
Ozil, yeah.
Ozil, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Ozil,
Remember that
Socrates
one now.
just went for him.
But I think the PSG lads.
Socrates. It wasn't Socrates. It was the left back. What's the left back called for Arsenal? Carry on. I'll look. That's going to do me head in that.
But I think with the PSG thing, I think there's been a few of those now. PSG, I had a little look earlier. I think there's been a couple in France that kind of during PSG matches there's been issues and stuff. But obviously we spoke about it, kind of earlier in the week. I kind of seen the clip of Di Maria getting subbed and kind of coming off in tears, and Pochettino throwing the arm around him and everything else. I didn't know about the second player, but it just kind of makes you think maybe not about going to France on your holidays.
Yeah, it's never nice, is it? By the way, the second Arsenal player was Kolasinac, and I always remember seeing the footage of it, and he was in his big Jeep Land Rover car, wasn't he? I forget which one it was. Yeah, exactly. And he chased him around the car, and the lads ended up doing a runner because he was well up for it. I think Ozil just stood there and froze.
I think the thing with the watches as well, though, I'd say Mitch off the Three Amigos has got more watches. So I'd say if you wanted to burgle anybody, if you're in Dubai or somewhere, check out Mitch's place. So he's got a good few watches. Allegedly.
Well, you've got to hope that doesn't happen now, otherwise Mitch is going to come run for you.
He's going to love you for that, man. He's going to love you. But I'll tell you what, Chris, go on that. You had from being from Liverpool, and you still can't remember this when Steven Gerrard got done over. When he was away with Champions League with Marseille. And they burgled him. His wife was at home with his kids, and they got 2007.
Oh, yeah.
When he was playing in the Champions League game with Marseille.
No, you're right, mate.
And he threatened to abduct the kids as well. Right. So that was that. Yeah, that was the first major thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, no, I do remember now you've said it, mate. It's terrible, isn't it? I mean, I know we're all having a laugh and a joke, but that must be absolutely horrendous, especially while, you're doing your job, you're playing football, and then you find out that, your family are absolutely petrified and stuff. It must be so horrible. I really feel for Di Maria there and Marquinhos.
It's seen as like an easy pick, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like as you said, all joking aside, I mean, if you're a missus and your kids in the house, I mean, yourself, like I've young kids, any kind of noise, at the back door or anything else is enough to scare my kids. So I can only imagine, for Di Maria's old fella and everything else, it's not good, and you just kind of wonder with the security and everything else, like how does that kind of thing happen? But
yeah. Thankfully, they've been all in the basements, as Daz said. I mean, I suppose that's the advantage of having, a lot of money, and obviously you can protect your family in that way.
Room or whatever else. Yeah.
I'm pleased, to hear that anyway. At least they were all safe and they were unharmed.
Exactly.
But it's just horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. I think one of the worst things, though, is these people who are burgling houses probably actually are huge. They're their idols as well, which, they would probably love them, say, Gerrard to go to, a charity gig or something for their kid or something like that, or even. But then they're still burgling someone's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's absolutely downright disgraceful. Like you would probably treat your own idols like that as well. It's scandalous to even make people like ourselves, but to do it to your idols as well, just downright disgraceful.
Yeah, exactly. And as Julie says there, we don't condone theft and we don't encourage it. As much as we have a bit of a laugh and a bit of a carry on, it's not a great situation and a very scary time for Di Maria and his family, especially considering the fellow was playing. So, look, our hearts go out to him. And I don't know the other name of the other player, but I know there was two.
Marquinhos.
So, look, we wish them all the best. But, look, it's a serious situation. And obviously today we're having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a carry on, but we don't condone anything like that. So, we wish them all the very best and their families and obviously a very, very quick recovery.
As we move on, second topic I want to bring up is Chris Wilder. So Chris Wilder departed his role as Sheffield United manager by mutual consent this week. He took charge of his boyhood club in 2016 after they had finished 11th in League One, as we all know, the third tier. After that, he gained 2 promotions in 3 years. The highest finish coming last season, where it was the first time they finished that high in 28 years. Of course, Wilder is now linked to the Celtic job, along with Roy Keane. Sheffield United this season had a bit of the second season syndrome, I guess. And he was at Sheffield United as a ball boy player and as a leader, as a manager. I suppose where it kind of all fell apart from was when Prince Abdullah came in and he wanted to bring a director of football and have a say in the transfers and so on and so forth. So I think that's where it was a bit downhill from there for Chris Wilder. What's your thoughts on that? I'll go to you, Richie, first.
It's a very similar situation that we were in last year. When Rafa's contract was up, he wanted to have more control. It just gets to the stage where, a lot of the clubs just don't really care about having proper football people in charge. You know what I mean? And they think that they can run it better than what they do. Sometimes they're playing with these football clubs as though it's fantasy football. Chris Wilder is a proper football man. He's took them all the way from League One all the way up to the Premier League in about 5 years. Sheffield United, red and white runs through his veins. He'd do anything for that club. And all he wants was just he wants to have say over some of the transfers and stuff like that. And same as what we had with Rafa, he just wanted to have more control. He wanted to bring the people he wanted to bring in, didn't want to have to sign people he didn't want to sign. And that's one of the reasons why Rafa left. And to be fair to Chris Wilder, he hasn't got the same profile as Rafa does. However, he stood by his principles, and I stand with him if he wants to. If he feels like resign is best for him, okay, he puts his club that he loves into a position where he didn't want him to be in. He would love to have been backed by the club after all he's done for the last 5 years and have a little bit of loyalty shown to him. But he stood by his principles, and hopefully he gets a new club very, very soon because he deserves it. He's a top quality coach I think he'll go a long way in the next few years.
Yeah. Agree, Richie?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what, Richie? I completely agree with you. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend, to be the biggest Sheffield United fan, because I'm not, and I certainly wouldn't preach about Sheffield United to any Sheffield United fans that may be watching. So I'm not going to pretend to be in the know. But from an outsider looking in, I think it's a humongous mistake by the board. Maybe Wilder's walked away. Maybe he's thought, you know what, I've taken the club as far as I can. We've had our Premier League journey. It's been great. Maybe he's walked away and just thought, enough's enough. But if it's for any reason, it's because the club, have kind of like forced his hand by basically saying to him, no, we want control over this. You can't do this. You can't do that. Then they've made a huge mistake. And, I'd like to think Sheffield United fans would agree with me on that because, I mean, you only have to look at the results at the weekends. They play Leicester City and they crumbled 5-0. Apparently it could have been more. I didn't watch the whole game. But, I would imagine they've got a pretty despondent dressing room now. They've lost, like you said, Richie, they've lost a Sheffield United man through and through. And now it's, they're in a really critical position because not only are they inevitably going down, they're going to have to make sure they recruit the right manager. I mean, as an example, just look at Daniel Farke, what he's done at Norwich. They got him up into the Premier League, had a go, played some good football, wasn't enough, got relegated, and the chairman was 100% behind him and said, listen, we're going to cut our cloth, go down, take our medicine, and try and get back up. And look what they're doing. They're absolutely storming the Championship, and it's that is the model that should be followed. Sorry, Daz, go on, mate.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, and they sold a few players, as we know as well. They sold a few of their defenders and stuff, and they kept hold of the guys that they could keep hold of. They could sell on a few more if it happened again. Yeah, next year when they did promoted,
they did well keeping hold of Cantwell, didn't they? They've obviously identified, the likes of Cantwell, Pookie. They've let Godfrey go, who looks a fantastic prospect.
They've kept
hold of Aaron. Yeah, so they've let they've let Godfrey go. They've let Jamal Lewis go to Newcastle, obviously, and they've kept hold of some real good quality. They've got Tim Krul in goal, as we all know, fantastic goalkeeper. They've got a pretty decent spine there. So I'm not surprised that they're on the way back up. But as I've said just previously, I think it's integral that they've kept hold of Daniel Farke because he's got a brand of football that he believes in. The players are behind him. So why shake things up? And like I say, I just hope for Sheffield United fans that Chris Wilder has walked away rather than the board putting unnecessary pressure or changing the rules on him, and he's had to walk away because if that's the case, it's a big risk. They're going into the Championship. They're going to have to get a new manager, and let's be honest, if they recruit the wrong person or the wrong guy, they could do a Sunderland's straight down into League One, and that's no good for anybody.
No.
What about yourself, Mark? What do you think?
Yeah, I think, I think obviously Sheffield's first season back up, they were one of the surprise packages, I guess. They were getting results where you wouldn't expect them, and Wilder had them ticking. They were really good. They were scoring goals. They were putting teams to the sword. They played great football, kind of like what Leeds are doing now this season. Kind of Leeds have been the surprise package. Okay, Leeds have kind of took a couple of dents where they've had a few hammerings, but on a whole on the season they're playing some really, really good, attractive football. And Sheffield United did that the first season back. This season, I don't know what's going on with them. They just haven't hit those same heights. The same players haven't performed, and I think as much as Wilder has gone, I think the players do need to take a little bit of responsibility for it. I don't think they've really hit the heights like they did that first season back. But I think it's also like any team coming up from the Championship, and I think any player coming into the Premier League kind of after a season, you get found out. If you look at foreign imports coming in, or different players coming in and different teams coming into the league, first season, the likes of Newcastle, St. Maximin might get away with a few sprinty runs and tricks and spins, but the second season he's got two men on him. So from that perspective, they very, very quickly adapt and get found out and kind of find out your weak points. And I think this season Sheffield United just haven't ticked. I think Wilder's a quality coach. Would you take him at Newcastle? Yeah, absolutely. I think coach wise, I think I agree with Rich. I think he's really, really good. But I think, Sheffield United have been really, really poor. So again, is it a case of just not playing for him? Is it a bit of a player piece? I think there's a few things at the club that aren't really working out. But look, second season syndrome, I think it looks pretty drastic for them. I can't see them staying up. But yeah, as Dunhill says there, first season surprise, second season found out. So yeah, unfortunately, I think they'll go back down. But let's see. If it pans out that Norwich come back up, let's see what Daniel Farke does, and how does he keep them up and keep that style of football? Be interesting.
I was just going to say before Dan says, it's probably, I think one big thing about that Sheffield United have had this year is they've had no Dean Henderson, who was a huge miss from this season.
Massively.
Aaron Ramsdale is just not in the same league as Dean Henderson. I'm sorry. Jack O'Connell and John Egan, two of their centre halves. Jack O'Connell's been out all season, and John Egan's been a big miss as well for them since he's been out. Yeah. But the main issue is they haven't got someone who puts the ball in the back of the net, a bit like us when we haven't got Wilson.
Yeah, no, true.
Just laughing at Judy's comment there. Yeah, they do love Steve Bruce in all parts of Sheffield.
They do blue and white or red and white. Yeah. I think maybe we need to start off a bring Brucey back campaign, lads.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has ever gone from Sheffield Wednesday to Sheffield United, and then Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United again. A few other clubs in between. He would, yeah.
He would on the package. Yeah.
Lads, Richie, I think you wanted to bring in another topic, and I'm just going to let you know, lads, that the Institutes have been in studio since 8:05. They are dead early.
Good lads, dead
yes,
king.
Boys.
Love to see.
Yes, boys.
There's guitars, there's sunglasses,
where the
whole
banter is at on a St. Patrick's night. That's all I'll say.
With you guys soon.
I was just going to turn around and say that with obviously being St. Patrick's Day and there's not much football before we get into loaded leaderboard, there is a huge game this week which ties in with today's theme, and that is the Glasgow Derby at the weekend. And obviously, Rangers have won the title, and then Celtic, will they do a guard of honour? Obviously, Celtic Park have had to put lots of barriers up around the ground for protection and damage, because obviously Rangers have won their first title for over 10 years, stopped Celtic getting the 10 in a row, so it's obviously a big achievement for Rangers, and they're on a high at the moment, and they've been fantastic to go and beat them this season. So I thought it was just something that would be good to bring onto the show and have a bit more crack about, especially with it being a fitting title for St. Paddy's Day as well. So what's your thoughts on that, Daz?
Sorry, Richie. I was just distracted. I was just checking. Yeah, we all actually got the loaded HQ1 right this time this week. well done us.
We know our Twitter handle. It's good, boys.
That 7 minutes of a planning meeting worked really well the other night, lads.
Yeah.
If we did nothing else, we got that bit sorted out.
But look, fair play to Rangers. They won the league. Celtic should give them the guard of honour. Look at, they did come back up through the leagues. Why not? Look at, let's see what happens with Celtic now. Who they're bringing in as manager, and then let them go at it. Let's say in next year. That's when they'll get interested, I think, in the Scottish Premier League. My quick thoughts on that one.
Yeah, they were on for 10 in a row this year, Celtic, weren't they? And personally, I did a little anti-post bet on Celtic. I thought that'd be a nap. And to be fair, Steven Gerrard, it's Gerrard's second season, isn't it? Am I right in saying that?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And you know what? I think people underestimate the job that he's done. Especially, I'm going to say one person, especially Chris Sutton. I don't know if any of you saw it, but Chris Sutton did an interview, and he was basically saying, "I don't know why Steven Gerrard gets all this praise. He hasn't won anything. He hasn't done anything." And then obviously Gerrard's got on had the season he had. I mean, nobody, I don't think, could say that Steven Gerrard hasn't done a fantastic job at Rangers. I mean, I know the Scottish Premiership isn't the highest quality, but when you consider where they were, 3 or 4 years ago when they got demoted down the leagues, and he's brought them all the way back up to the top. This is I don't want to touch too much on Newcastle, but this is what us lads have said now for years. Wouldn't it be fantastic to get a young manager in who's got new ideas? He takes the club forward, he gets the club, and he's ambitious, and he looks the real deal, Gerrard. I've got to say. I mean, as a player, I rated him really highly. He was one of my favourite players, despite being a Newcastle fan. Because I just thought he had everything, and certainly as a manager, what a fantastic start he's made. So, in terms of the question, Rich, you mentioned about the Guard of Honour, I think Celtic should do the Guard of Honour. Whether they will or not, I don't know. I could half understand if they don't, but it kind of makes them look sore losers to me. I think they should do it through gritted teeth. Celebrate, congratulate Rangers on the title success, and as Daz said, go again next season. That's what should happen, but it'll be interesting to see, and it'll be good from a Celtic point of view to see how the players react to the game on the weekend. Because if I was a Celtic fan, I'd want my players, to be out there battling for everything. Okay, the league's done and dusted, but you don't roll over for Rangers. So it should be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. What about you, Mark? What are you thinking, mate?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I think Donald's comment there is absolutely bang on. Steven Gerrard's a winner. End of. Serial winner. And when you take that mentality into being a manager, then titles follow. Dead simple. I think the job he's done at Rangers has been, very, very cleverly put together. I think Rangers board have backed him very, very well. He hasn't spent hugely, but he's spent wisely, and he's brought in some good talent. I think probably if I was critical, I think the one thing he probably needs to do is get a hold of Morales and calm the temperament. But I think you kind of need that in a player, but it does overspill. And I think that for me kind of has, he's still potent to a red card here and there. And I think that's a shame because he is a really good goal scorer. Interestingly, it is a fine line. I think interestingly, this weekend through the league, yet Morales has yet to score against Celtic in an Old Firm game. So I'd like to see him do that. Obviously, from an Irish perspective, we don't really talk about Rangers that much this side of the border. So from that perspective, you kind of watch him. But yeah, I think Gerrard's done a massive job. Serial winner. I'd love to see him try his hand elsewhere, but I don't think he will. I think should Celtic do the Guard of Honour? Absolutely. Look, lads, it's tradition. Don't be dicks. Do the Guard of Honour. Get over it. I think Celtic need a massive rebuild job. I think their squad is probably like a lot of Premiership teams. I think sometimes squads come to an end, a bit like Man United's squad. In the Ferguson era, came to an end. Of winning multiple trophies and being unchallenged. And I think that's kind of where Celtic are. I think they need a new manager with a fresh approach. They probably need a bit of investment. They need, the likes of Scott Brown and players like that who've served them well need to move on, in my opinion. And I think Celtic need a rebuild. So I can see Rangers kind of probably dominating for the next 2-3 years, if not more. And I think that's kind of the way the Scottish game goes, really, doesn't it? It's kind of Rangers for a load of years, Celtic for a load of years, Rangers for a load of years. Look at the years where Rangers had Hateley and, Ali McCoist and Gaza and Brian Lowger, players like that. Rangers were on top of their ball. Then the opposite way, then you had Celtic had, Di Canio, they had Henrik Larsson, they had all these other players. So, yeah, exactly. Van Dijk, Kieran Tierney, who's now at Arsenal. So yeah, I think look, fair play to Rangers. Great season, challenging all fronts. So yeah, great season for them. But yeah, Celtic do the right thing at the weekend. Don't be dicks.
I must say, I think if Brendan Rodgers was still at Celtic, I do believe they would have got the 10 in a row without shower out. I think Brendan Rodgers is a quality coach. He's a progressive coach. He's not stuck in his ways constantly. Whereas I think Neil Lennon is very a bit old schooly type of thing. He's like, I think the thing with Rodgers though, Rich, is the Premier League's too big of a draw. No, I don't. The fact that having been at Liverpool, going to Celtic and then coming back, I think the Leicester opportunity was massive for Rodgers to get back in, especially with the squad that Leicester have. Yeah, I've got to say, I completely agree with that. Do you know what I mean? The pull of the Premier League is huge for any manager or coach. I was just saying that it was a personal point of view. I think if he stayed at Celtic, I do believe that he got the. I think Rodgers would have had the tactical nous to outdo Gerrard this year. But that's just
I think it would have been close, and I still think Rangers would have won it because I think Gerrard just had them on the up, and I think you just have one of those seasons where you go and you like and to be fair, Rangers haven't played great all season. Let's not kid ourselves. They've had some games where they've been very, very iffy, but they've come away with a 1-0 or a 2-1 win. Yeah, they didn't play great against Aberdeen, but came away with a win. So it's those kind of results.
Lads, it's the FPL version of the Invincibles. Yeah. That's what it is. They're getting the job done. Doesn't matter if it's 1-0 or whatever.
Daz wants to move on. He's had a haircut, so I don't want to mess with him.
I'm just afraid that the institute will be gone to bed. So let's keep going. Are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready. Loaded leaderboard. I'm dreading it. You know what? Every week I dread this now. Because I feel like I should be top.
You're shit at it.
It's my section and I'm shit at it. It's not good, that is it? I'm hoping I'm at least second, Daz. I'm hoping now. Daz?
Yeah, I think you're safe enough, Chris. You're safe enough.
Oh, good.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that, man. 2-point gap. I'm coming.
Yeah, it's close for top
spot.
Just
listen, you are no Fulham to my Newcastle, lad. That gap's not going to be breached.
I know, the 2-point gap. No, so well done, Mart. Top
lads.
Again
well.
This week.
You're doing well.
Still top.
Doing really good.
Still fluking it.
I'm just going to bring up some of the other comments, guys, before we go into the discussion. There was one from Donald again about Brendan Rodgers. Say hello to Tom as well. Welcome, Tom.
Evening, Tom.
Another one from Neil Lennon.
Yeah. I could go with that.
Manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we take him every day. Now, okay, let's bring up the fixtures. There's not many this week, so over to you, Chris.
Let's rattle through them.
Yep. I'm dreading this Saturday one. Okay, so on Friday we've got a late kickoff and it's Fulham at home to Leeds. I've got to say Leeds, and the reason I'm saying Leeds really quickly, boys, I'm saying Leeds because Fulham, when they played Man City, not only did they lose 3-0, but it was the goals they conceded and how they conceded. So I think Fulham could go on a bit of a bad run. So I'm going to say Leeds. Daz, what are you saying, mate?
I'm saying Leeds as well, Chris. Yeah, I normally have these thought out, but I'm just going to wing it today. Leeds.
Go for it, mate.
You might stand more luck getting up that leaderboard, Daz.
What do you say, Rich? Leeds, good man. Martin, full house?
Fulham.
Oh!
Yeah.
Sorry, lads.
Funny. Hey?
Sorry.
Okay. So, next game, and it's the biggest game of the weekend, may I say?
Of the year.
Brighton. Yeah. Biggest game of the season for us.
Of the season.
Yeah. Brighton at home to Newcastle. Yeah, boys, I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say draw. Daz, what about you?
Because we have no other choice but to win this game.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we're going to win it, but I'm going to say a Newcastle win. I know it's crazy.
Oh, we head saying draw, but I'm going to have to go with the Newcastle winner. Almiron looks as though he could be back, so hopefully he'll be a bit fresh and cause them problems. So I'll go with a 2-1 win.
I know what Martin's going to say.
I am going to go, and I am going to go with a Brighton win. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I think
just you know what it is? We've been talking for weeks, and we've been saying, and I text all you boys at the weekend, and I went, who was it that said Brighton don't score goals? And I just think all of a sudden they start hitting the back of the net. And to be fair, if anybody watched the game at the weekend, lads, they play way much better football than we do.
Martin, do you know what? I mentioned on, I forget which show it was, whether it was this one or a Newcastle. I think it was a Newcastle one. And I was saying Brighton are in the expected goals charts. Brighton are 7th in the league. Now, expected goals, not goals scored, expected goals, which is the chances they create.
From their play.
Seventh in the league. That's good going, that. It's going to click sooner or later.
I don't think it'll be mass scoring, but I think we'll lose by an odd goal. And listen, you know me, I hate to say it, lads, but I just think, don't think we're there at the minute. I just think we're in a real bad run.
I
hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong, and then I'll be top of the leaderboard as well. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go on.
Right, okay, so Sunday, we've got West Ham at home to Arsenal. I'm going to say West Ham home win. Daz?
I'm going to go for a draw here. I think. Yep, draw.
I'm saying West Ham.
I'm Martin.
Arsenal.
Okay. And then the last game of the week, we've got Aston Villa at home to Spurs. Ooh, what a tough game. I'm going to say, it's very tricky. I'm going to say a Tottenham win. I think Bale is going to do something this weekend. Daz, what about you, mate?
Spurs win for me here, Chris.
And Mitch?
Spurs for me as well.
I may as well go full house and fuck everything up, so I'm going to go Villa.
Okay, mate.
You're either joining me.
I'm either going to be 100% right or 100% wrong. So there's no 50-50 now for me.
Yeah.
Oh God.
None of those results are going to come in, lads. By the way.
just looking at the comments here, lads. A few.
We haven't been Brighton in years. We haven't been Brighton.
We're not good on the Amex.
Martin, I tell you what, I'll take a Mo Diarmi goal all day long on Saturday night.
So would I, lad. And I would take a midfielder like Mo Diarmi instead of John Joe Shelby. But there you go, Richie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Holly as well. Welcome, Holly.
St. Patrick's.
Hey, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Last of the comments before we move on. No Bamford for these. Yeah, that's going to be tricky then.
That'll be great for, I think. Rafinha and what's the other lad? The other Rodrigo are the ones that worry me for Leeds. So
yeah.
Okay, Martin. I think it's time for a shout out to our sponsor.
Bring the boys in. Yeah.
No, sponsor first.
Sponsor first. Okay. Let's go.
Yeah. Here we go.
So yes, mind, body, and soul still looking after us. Adam and the boys. So Mind, Body, and Soul are a crowd who heavily invested in the likes of men's mental health, from depression to addiction to all kinds of anxiety. And, as it says there, people need to remember you're not alone. I gave a little bit of spiel last week about men's mental health and about it being a stigma, and that us as men don't talk enough about mental health and when we're not feeling great. And I tweeted a couple of times this week, those who follow me on Twitter and stuff, that we need to break that stigma. It's not embarrassing to sit as a group of men, or me sitting with these boys on YouTube and going, do you know what, lads, I've had a crap week. I don't feel great. So, you're not alone. I've got these 3 lads who look after me, and I would look after any one of them. And you can talk, and you can turn a tear, and you can be upset. But just, as it says there, you are not alone. And Mind, Body, and Soul are really good to be able to reach out to. So you can look them up on Twitter at Mind, Body, and Soul UK. You can also at them at help at Mind, Body, Soul UK. www.mindbodysoul.uk. You can find them on Insta, you can find them on Facebook, find them on Twitter. Reach out, they will help you. They do a huge line of merchandise as well. Richy, I think, is sporting a very nice one there this evening.
The
Mind,
model
Body,
here.
and Soul. The model, yeah. The body, I tell you what, you thought Elle Macpherson had it? You are seriously deluded, lads.
Yeah. We have Richy.
We have Richy, yeah. Elle Macpherson, stand down.
All day long.
Exactly. But look, the guys do a line of merch there. You can see they do everything from courses to mugs, pin badges, hoodies. They've just recently released a line of jackets, T-shirts in multiple colors, beanies, a load of different stuff. Everything that you buy online helps and goes towards those that are currently in need, and they will direct you through themselves. They will chat to you. They will also help direct you to charities and to other companies and crowds that will help with whatever issue you've got going on. So reach out to them. Good shout out to the boys, Adam and the guys, that do a massive sterling job. They put a huge amount of time in. So please support them. And thanks very much for keeping supporting us. We do really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, boys.
And I agree with Donald's comment as well. They do put out great tweets, and we try to retweet them as well, to get the message out.
Exactly.
And as always, Julie always comes with the breaking news. She brought us the Richy story of Bruce. Look at this one.
I hope it's good news.
No,
Julie,
it's not for us. It's not for us.
Julie,
no. Could have been.
No, Julie.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I knew about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So apparently I know a little bit about this because I have been reading a little bit about this evening while I have been heavily drinking. But so basically they hadn't BZG, obviously, as we know, came in for Newcastle some time ago. We thought that the golden bucket had arrived. We thought we were getting a takeover. Didn't happen, fell through. People were WhatsApping Meathead and all these other guys on social media and asking about the takeover. They then left Newcastle B, went in for Derby. Everything seemed to be going well, and the money fell through. Obviously, Derby players for a period of time have not been paid. Obviously, they've got Wayne Rooney there, doing a job. We spoke to a couple of Derby guys the other week with the guys from the Pacemakers, I think it was.
It was, yeah.
We spoke about Derby. And, they're really, really struggling, despite having
19th.
kind of Rooney there, sitting 19th in the league. So apparently BZG kind of came back and were given scheduled dates to make their payments for the takeover. And the third and final piece of that fell through today, and no money changed hands. So BZG have pulled away, no money paid, wages not paid to certain players, and gone to ground. So, yeah, there you go.
Tell you what, it's disappointing. I mean, as a Derby fan, you'd be devastated. I mean, I still remember the day, and I was decorating my daughter's room when the news broke that we'd been taken over by BZG, and I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely ecstatic. And then gradually, as the days and weeks passed, it was like, okay, no, so it hasn't happened, and there's still more complications, there's still more things to go through, and then it just didn't happen. So I really feel for any Derby fans out there, because it's a horrible feeling when that happens.
Just want to do one little plug, lads. Just want to run this one. Let's say thanks to everyone for watching. Like and comment the video and subscribe. We really want to try and get those subscribers up. We are talking about competitions as well. We might have one where we reach a certain subscriber amount, and then we have some goodies to give away, and we can give it to one of our subscribers. So get subscribing, and while you're subscribing, we'll come up with a plan for that competition. So one of our planning session, lads, that lasts 5 minutes talking about load of football stuff, and then an hour of talking other sort of crap.
And giggling.
Giggling is right. Okay. So I think it's time to move on. Lads. We've kept these men waiting long enough. I think it's time for. Are you ready, Martin?
I am ready. Let's go. Loaded tune.
So let's get the institutes on. Are you ready, lads? Here we go.
How many is there?
There's 2.
12.
There's loads of them.
There's 2. Grand.
Hey guys, welcome.
That's a cracking setup, lads. How can we not have a setup like this?
I know.
Because we're in 4 different places, mate.
Yeah, like I'm in the basement. What's going on?
What, boys? It's just a man cave.
Oh, here we go.
There's loads more coming. Look, there's loads of people coming. Evening, boys. How are you?
All right.
We're not too bad. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We haven't celebrated yet, so.
I've kind of been over celebrating. So if a load of the questions I ask are absolute shit, just make something up and get the rest of the lads to ask stuff, right?
You haven't heard the quiz yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you haven't heard the quiz. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, listen, welcome, guys. We're delighted to have you on. I know from my perspective, I had kind of been chasing you for a few weeks to get you on. I kind of was given the band's name kind of by somebody over Twitter, listened to a couple of the tunes and absolutely loved them, real vibe off them, passed them on to the boys here and said, listen, lads, we're going to get these guys on. Tunes are cracking. Absolute thumbs up. So we are absolutely delighted to have you on, boys. So I suppose we got what we do in this section, for those who haven't watched the show, is we normally have a bit of a chat. We get you guys to tell us all about yourselves. Few questions. We kind of whack on a tune, and we let that run through. Chris then kind of gets you involved in the loaded quiz. We've got a leaderboard there. All our other bands and stuff have been on. You can play the quiz as individuals, or you can answer as one, whatever suits yourselves. We ask a few more questions after that, and then you have the option to kind of hang around with us and listen to the rest of the shit patter, or you can divert off. It's entirely up to you. So I suppose really tell us a bit about yourselves. How did you get together? How long you guys been going at it? And kind of, tell us a bit about the music and stuff.
Well, I've been going at it since like school, which is about 40 years now. So we've only just started doing it properly. We've all met we've known each other for years and years. Yeah. Coventry's a pretty big city, but everyone knows each other anyway in Cov, as most cities do, but especially on the music scene. So we've all been in bands before, but we've only just come together as a band now, because kind of like bands kind of like over the years, when you get older, people start to just knock it on the head because their wife says you're not allowed to do it anymore, and we carried on. We were the sad ones that just were still there every week with all the teenagers, fucking showing them how to change nappies and that. You know what I mean? But no, we met, we knew each other for years, and then we just kind of decided to start a band. It just kind of happened, really, in my opinion. And it's like it just clicked, and just enjoying it more than ever, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've obviously looked at a few of the tunes that you got out, and there's a real, I wouldn't say Oasis-y vibe to it, but there's a real kind of the guitar riffs and the kind of the real melodic kind of chorus on it is really catchy. I think all that you ever know, I kind of have had on the playlist, and obviously you've seen this week. We kind of put together a playlist on Spotify of all those bands we've kind of had on. We threw you guys into it, despite kind of only getting you on the show tonight, because it's just go on.
We're the last two tracks on it, I think. I had a listen. It was really good, man.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just, I think it was one of those things we kind of talked about it. And Richy, who's on the panel here, kind of said, maybe we should put some of the music we've had on out there. And it was one of those things we went, yeah, geez, I don't know why we haven't. So we kind of threw you in, even though we hadn't had you on until tonight, because it's just a really, really couple of good tunes. So obviously. Thank you. Cheers, man. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so Danny Brown saying we're very quiet. Fuck me. I've never heard that before. Is that my mum? Danny Brown, is that my mum?
It could well be. I'd say maybe just
see what I can do here, lads.
Yeah, let's pump up the volume. I've got mine on. I've got my cans on, so I can hear everything. So
I think playlists
now we can hear you.
To put out bands on playlists is a great idea. We're going to do one ourselves, because so many people during this time are just listening to a lot of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm coming to this point where I need advice from, or just I need some fucking people to say, listen to this, because I've actually just drained out all my own tunes at the minute. I've played them 1,000,000 times. All I'm doing is listening to music. So it's nice to have you guys sending some tracks over. So I've had to listen to your playlist, which was great, and we're doing the same. And it gives you a bit of a feedback on the social media side of things as well, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we kind of, sorry, Rich, we kind of started. Obviously, we kind of were running off the back of a Newcastle channel, and kind of the four of us, myself and Daz, kind of started talking, and we were like, there's no real kind of, Soccer EM's kind of gone down a little bit for us, and we were kind of like, there's nothing really out there on YouTube that kind of, has footy banter and a bit of music and everything else. And we started, in particular myself, started listening to a load of music. And I tell you, lads, I've been absolutely shocked at the amount of great music that's out there that just isn't being played. And I think you guys absolutely fall into that category of just a band that just needs to be fucking out there, if I'm honest. So we kind of started getting into it, and I've been listening to more and more music, kind of probably to my wife's detriment, listening to music on a Sunday. And I've staggered across just an absolute heap of great bands and artists. And look, you guys absolutely fall into that category. So as I said, we're delighted to have you on.
Thank you.
COVID-wise, obviously, what were you guys doing pre-COVID with regards to kind of getting the music out there and gigging and everything else? Like, obviously, it's fairly fucked up now, but what were you guys doing beforehand? Were you gigging? What were you doing getting the tunes out there, lads?
Yeah, we were just playing pretty much anywhere and everywhere we could, all the time. But I think one of the cool things that has happened over sort of lockdown is people have been it's really creative now how to get sort of music out. We're doing things like this. That probably we wouldn't have had that exposure to before.
COVID's made like bands. It's like COVID's like the marijuana of the 60s. You know what I mean? It's like COVID's made us all really like productive and shit. Like,
I want that in a t-shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. COVID is the marijuana. Absolutely. Institutes UK on the back of it. I tell you, lads, I'm buying that.
Yeah, I buy that too.
On a serious note, adding on to what Kirk said, I think COVID-wise, I think personally, before I look at it as a before and after now, or before and during. The after's on its way in terms of COVID.
Hopefully.
But for me, before it was all oversaturated. You don't stop. Life was 100% non-stop, and that's why mental health issues. People you don't have time to stop and think about it or think about yourself. We did too much. We never thought about things. You might have a great song, you play it twice at a gig, and then you get a new one. This has made us kind of like, it's leveled it out for me, and it's made us organize things, and it's allowed us to become professional. That's how I feel about it.
It's also allowed listeners to engage more with different bands because people have got time to listen now.
Yeah.
Whereas you go to a gig, you go and listen to a band, you probably forget about them in the morning, and then that was it. Where you might have watched a really great band, but there's more engagement now from different people, and I think things like this are an example of that,
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think, like, I was saying to the guys, one of the things I've done, like, I had a pretty rotten back end of last year, family stuff. Yeah. And what I started to do was get out and walk more. But I put the headphones on and I started listening to stuff that maybe I hadn't listened to. I was listening to podcasts on, men's mental health, and then I was putting some tunes on, drop a couple of pounds and, get a little bit fitted. Like, I mean, I'm 51, I've got 3 kids, I've got the dad belly and everything else. So for me, it was an opportunity, whilst I've been lucky enough, I've still kind of been working, a couple of days here and there on sites and different stuff. I kind of had time, and I think you're right. People have had time to kind of evaluate and look back and go, God, I haven't really taken time for me, or I haven't listened to this in a while. And I think people have kind of gone back on old bands. Like I spent yesterday, I was doing some stuff around the house, but I had Shed 7 playing in the background.
Oh yeah.
And I wouldn't say I've listened. I probably haven't listened to Shed 7 probably since I was maybe 2021 living back in Newcastle. So I think it's kind of like, I think it has given people time to kind of evaluate what they do and how they do things, and maybe switch off the TV and talk a bit more and do all that. So, I think the music you guys are producing is, as I said to you before, we've whacked it on our play track, but it's something that I've kind of had on the phone the last while, and I've had it on while I've been out walking. I think, it's all of that helps kind of free up the brain, I suppose, and just listen. And when you get that bit of fresh air, I think the other thing with music for me is, I think people start, when you play a track and then you maybe play it a second or a third time, you might hear something in the melody you don't hear the first time round. You might hear a different riff, or you might hear a different, you might hear a different bass beat or something like that. So I think that's all, from my perspective, it's been really refreshing. And look, I think you guys just need to keep turning out the tunes for me.
I think Martin I was just going to say on that front, it's hard. I've got a lot of respect for people like yourself who are listening to songs over and over, because I find now there's so much music available, like we're all guilty of not even listening to a song all the way through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a hard thing for bands now, because like when you go on, our main platform is, say, perhaps like Spotify. That's why we want to release a vinyl so people listen to it. When you spend 25 quid on an album or 20 quid, you're going to listen to it and you're going to get into it because it's your property. Whereas I think like, Spotify is like, it's a bit of you're getting suggestions underneath whilst you're, like I find the generation of my little boy, he's like, 4 years old, and he doesn't want to play a computer game for longer than 10 seconds because he knows there's another one available for free. And the older generation, they love music more, for me, from what my experience is, because they bite onto it and they want to feel part of stuff, and they listen to it like yourself.
I guess it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because you've got, you've got access. Like, if anybody told me about Spotify when I was 15, it'd have been the greatest thing ever. Yeah, absolute greatest thing ever. Because the amount of discovery that you get on there is unbelievable. But as you say, nothing beats
sitting down and actually listening to something.
Absolutely. Like if you were like, when I was 21, split up with a girl, and I was gutted, but I had 2 CDs and a CD player, and that was all. I was listening to it on the back of the bus, you know what I mean, crying, you know what I mean?
You know this is going out live, right?
I was out, you know what I mean? Yeah, and she still ain't answering me calls or anything.
Okay, look, I think what we'll do is, Daz, maybe what we'll do is let's throw up the first tune from the boys. Sure. And I think when we come back after that,
who's doing the comments?
Yeah, that's Daz. Thanks.
I don't know, lads. No idea.
Yeah. So much for the Irish looking after each other. Thanks, Daz. On that note of comedy capers from my co-host there, let's get the first tune up from the Institutes, and then when we come back, let's talk footy and let's talk Coventry City.
You want us to mime it?
Daz, sorry, mate.
Do we mime it?
You can do if you want, lads, but we're going to probably put a picture up in front of you, so it'll probably have absolutely zero effect, but work away.
Here we go, lads.
Right, Daz, let her rip, boy. Let her rip.
Wanna know what it feels like living in paradise, stuck in a hole with broken dreams. Will I get out of
Great tune, lads.
Class tune, boys.
Absolutely belter, boys. Belter.
Superb.
Comments coming in as well. They're flying in. That's
I did put that one up, but sorry, I was texting myself.
Cracking tune from Tom.
Birmingham score. We need to know. We want Birmingham to lose tonight. So
okay, mate.
Okay, we'll tell you. Hold on, we'll tell you now. We'll tell you now.
1-1. Yeah, 1-1. 50 minutes gone, boys.
Yeah. So come on, Reading, for fuck's sake. Everyone lets us down, Cov. Like all the other teams, you always fucking let us down, don't they?
I'll put other man.
You don't need to tell us, lads. Somebody put up there the other week that they put on their team, God, I'm sick of getting beat in London. And I seen a Newcastle fan put straight up afterwards, I'm just sick of getting beat in England. So I thought it was very apt. So look, what we'll do is
because we don't want commentary, so
I'll as we chat footy, what we'll do now, obviously, look, there's loads of comments coming in about the tune. Absolutely, people loving it. What we'll do is I'm going to open it up. I do plenty of talking, so I'm going to open it up to Rich, Daz, and Chris, and let's talk a little bit about Coventry City, boys.
Can I go first?
Yeah, absolutely. Rock
go
on,
for it,
guys.
I've got 3 questions. Three questions.
Okay.
First of all, I want to ask the lads. Just think about your favorite player, and I was just thinking about players I liked from Coventry back in the day. Peter Unlove. Yeah, winner.
He was a shagger. Every woman's got a kid from the cuff. So, every one of them, which is amazing.
That was my first question. My second question was, what happened to this guy? He came to us, Biggie.
Biggie.
Yeah, I still love him.
I could tell you a story about Gail Biggie Moran.
Get it, spit it out, lads. Spit it out.
It's not as bad as Nuddies, but basically so he's Biryani. His family were from a war-torn country, and I work at Coventry Academy. So he actually used to come along to the academy, which is a sports centre in Coventry. And he came along for about 2 weeks with his football boots and said to Rich Stevens, who's now the West Bromwich Albion academy, head of academy. At the time, he was a Coventry, he's the head of academy, basically. So academy manager. And he said, I'm a good footballer. You get that a lot from kids. They come up with it and they say they're really good. And anyway, he gave him a chance. I don't know what age group. Might have been under 16s-ish. Cool. And he was absolutely fucking brilliant. He was the best player in the group. And they signed him straight away after one session. They signed him and he was like going to be the next big thing. And for some reason, he played for Cov and he just wasn't quite there. I know he came to Newcastle. Wembley, he scored at Wembley, but he just wasn't quite there. I don't know what it was. I mean, he was athletic. He was quick. Yeah. I don't know why he's not gone further.
Is he up in Scotland now?
He's in Northern Ireland, actually. He went to Glentoran in Northern Ireland.
Wow. Is he in Northern Ireland now? Yeah. I know he played. He scored that great goal for Newcastle. He scored a free kick. No, was it a free kick? I can't remember. But he scored a goal and it was fucking long range. I think that's all.
Yeah, it was a screamer, mate. I think off the top of my head, I think it was against Wigan. I might be wrong. And I think we won 3-0. But yeah, it was a screamer. It was like a 30-yarder, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. It's incredible. But I thought he had a lot of promise, but I don't know why. I don't know why. I feel for him because, like, I know that it meant a lot to him. Like, he's a very religious guy as well. Like, he didn't drink and he's prays every 10 minutes. It's like, no reason not to believe in God, I suppose.
That was my second question. And my third question, you kind of touched on it, was, are you guys staying up, guys?
Yeah.
You mentioned Birmingham. I have a Birmingham City friend from work as well. So yeah, he's a bit worried. Maybe I'll get rid of my banner. We can see the full table.
Wickham are so shit. You've missed them off. Oh no.
There they are.
On your keyboard, Wickham. Well, we've got them on Saturday, so that's going to be a tough game for us. Paul has already called that we're going to lose that on Saturday. So if we do, then it's going to be tough.
Depends who Birmingham have got.
Rotherham have got the hardest bunch of games, and Birmingham. I've not looked at Wickham and Sheffield Wednesdays because I'm pretty certain they're going to go down. But
the good thing is we've got Rotherham, so that's a 6-pointer.
Yeah.
And they've got
Rotherham, I think, have got Brentford. I can't remember. Or Birmingham have got Brentford on the last game. They've got real hard. We've played all the higher teams, haven't we? Yeah. Really. Our last 10 games, look shit because we played a lot of the better teams. We know we're not as good as them. We've got we've got players that played in League Two with us. You know what I mean? Fucking, and just we accept it. The wise football people know that we're not going to go into this league and do well. You get all the numpties that want fucking Robbins out and that. You know what I mean? But I slag them off and then I just delete them. You know what I mean?
Listen, that was my questions, lads.
We're Newcastle fans, so we're not having a great season either, lads. With Steve Bruce, so
to us, you're very similar to us, but you've got homes and families and that and money.
Yeah, it doesn't make it any easier. It actually makes it worse.
The answer for Julie is Coventry. The lads
Coventry, yes, the base in the Midlands, yes.
Yeah.
All right, Richie, go on, lad.
Yeah, I was gonna say to Daz, how did you miss Brian Kilcline for a start?
Yeah. No, I just picked Biggie because I like Biggie.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're gonna have to give Kilcline.
I would have gone the other way, lads. I was going Darren Huckabee.
Darren Huckabee,
yeah. Was mine.
I was at that game, 3-2, Darren Huckabee goal. You guys there?
Yeah.
I was there, and my mate, funnily enough, this is a fucking weird story. My best mate was Luke McCormick, who was a goalkeeper for Plymouth, who had that issue.
Oh, yeah.
We won't talk about that, but he was my best mate, and he still is one of my best mates. But he sold his ticket outside for a tenner to a kid. That was like a lot of fucking money in Cov for tenner.
Yeah. That's who it was.
Yeah. Oh, you said Anyway,
you never told me about that.
And I was sat watching that game, and that was one of the greatest fucking goals of my life. Honestly, I'll never.
Yeah, Huckabee for me was some player. And then I think if you're from my era, then I probably I some of the other guys we work with did a show tonight about a retro games between Newcastle and Coventry, and the player's name that came up was David Speedy.
Speedy, yeah. Wasn't he? Was it Geordie? Was he a Geordie? No, Scottish. He was Scottish.
He was Scottish, yeah.
Same
Obviously,
thing.
You know what?
Probably a lot of people.
Same thing.
Probably lots of people.
Now we're talking what about Cyril Regis?
Yeah,
we were
Cyril.
talking about him earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
He was a fantastic player, but we said that we can only really talk about players we really watched. You know, like my first game was 1989. That was my first game of Cov. I've been all the time ever since, and we're all total Cov fanatics. We're not just fucking like literally. It's like Coventry City is a little bit like heroin, I would say.
Another one.
It's good. It's good that this show,
and it will kill you in the end.
Yeah. Oh, listen, lads, we know about that. Listen, we're sitting on a premise that at some point we're going to get a Saudi takeover and Mike Ashley be gone. So listen, drugs, addiction,
we all live in hope.
Sadness, and everything else, lads. We're listening. The other thing, I have another quick one. Did Keith Houchin used to play for yous?
Yeah.
There you go.
Final.
Yeah, there you go. There's a name now. That's another one that just ran off my head.
He was South Shield, wasn't he? But he scored that iconic goal in the FA Cup final when we beat Spurs. Gary Mabber.
That was it.
He only scored 6 goals in the league that season. He was actually really shit, but in the FA Cup he was fantastic.
Coventry City,
Coventry City is like heroin. Tell you what, COVID is like marijuana. I tell you what, if nothing else tonight, if you guys are really shit at the loaded quiz, if nothing else, we've helped you with a line of t-shirts that will make a fucking million for you.
Druggies watching tonight. I really liked.
Yeah, let's hope YouTube standards aren't watching either. But anyway, on that note, I think Chris, at this point, I think when we get these lads to take part in loaded quiz, and let's see whether the heroin is the drug and how far they get.
Are you ready, Chris?
Boys.
Right,
I'm
let's
ready.
bring it on. Go on, Chris. Here we go.
Loaded quiz. Okay, boys, and you'll notice during that last conversation I was rather quiet, and when I get to one of the questions, you'll know why. So what I'm going to do, boys, is we'll just quickly look at the leaderboard. So as you can see, we've got the underclass on 15, a cracking score last week, by the way, 15 points. And bearing in mind, the maximum available is 17. So that was some going from the lads last week.
And they had no help.
Nope. And then we had the Moonlight Parade with 12 points. Johnny Ashband also with 12 points. We had Sam Lambeth with 11, Jace Campbell with 10, the Pacemakers with 10, and Phil Charletta with 9, and obviously yourselves there to be confirmed. So, boys, I've drawn up a quiz for you. There's a little bit of an Irish feel. Obviously, there's a Coventry feel, and I've also thrown in a couple of random ones, which I hope aren't too random, because I felt like last week maybe the quiz was a little bit too easy. So I've upped it a notch this week, I think. But there's 3 of you, so you should be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good. The confidence is high there in the Institute studio.
Yeah. Okay, boys. So a little bit of housekeeping. So we've got 14 questions. There's 15 points up for grabs. There's no timer. And we're going to do a bonus question at the very end to see if we can boost your scores. Okay. So question number 1, boys. What was thrown at Luis Figo by Barcelona fans when he returned to the Camp Nou as a Real Madrid player?
Is it a golf ball?
Is it a pig's head or golf ball? Golf ball?
Reed's answer's better than mine. I said golf ball. He says pig's head.
What one do you want to go with, boys?
We'll take your answer. Yeah.
Pig's head.
Okay.
Okay, boys. That's good. Okay. So, question number 2: Who wears the number 13 shirt for Coventry City?
That's the goal, isn't it? Ben Wilson. Yeah, it's got to be.
Ben Wilson.
Ben Wilson.
Okay, boys. I've got a feeling I'm not going to catch it up with these Coventry City questions. I've just got a feeling. Okay, so on the popular ITV quiz show, The Chase, how many contestants are there at the start of the show?
Oh, fucking hell. We ain't
Well,
got
there's 4 on the panel before they do the thing.
Mate, Rumbelows is closed.
There's 4 on the panel. Lies.
You know what? I fucking don't even watch The Chase. I don't know if
there's anything before the. I think it's 4.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer. Yeah.
Okay, boys. The next question. Most standard pairs of jeans come with 5 of what? So on a standard pair of jeans, what is there 5 of?
Hang on, 3, 4.
Yeah,
I was hoping one of you would be wearing jeans.
I was going to say holes, and then yeah.
That's good.
That's 4, isn't it? To go for a quick piss, it's 5, isn't it? But nah, we'll say pockets. Yeah,
Pockets. Okay, boys. Now this one is for 2 points. Now I'm going to tweak the question slightly because I already think you're going to smash it anyway. So you'll understand why in a moment. Okay, so for 2 points, boys. Quite a few players have played for both Coventry City and our beloved Newcastle United over the years. Now, I was originally going to ask you for 2 of them. I think you've already reeled 3 or 4 of them off. So I want 5.
Ready?
I want 5.
He's round. He scores on every ground. Mickey Quinn.
Hey.
He's round. Mickey Quinn.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't get that. Did the whole fucking song.
Just in case, yeah, just in case I missed it.
Just in case we didn't get it, yeah, we're there.
Gail Bigamarana, Mickey Quinn, fucking come on lads. Yeah. What about Houchin? Huckabee didn't play for Newcastle, no.
No, there's somebody like
hang on, you've met 2 to 5 is a bit of a jump, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It is a bit of a jump.
Oh, well, yeah, boys, just so you know, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9 here on my list, and I knew them without research.
Brian Kilcline? No.
Kilcline.
Yeah, Killers, yeah, he's in there.
You can have Killers, so he's on there. 2 more, boys, 2 more. One of them, well, to be fair, I'll give you a little hint. One of them you said before was right.
We signed Darren Huckabee from...
Huckabee was Norwich.
From Newcastle.
Yeah, it was Norwich,
Darren Huckabee.
We signed him from Newcastle, right?
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, you're on 4. I need 1 more.
I'll
give you the clue. Well, one of them's one of my favourite players, and the other one is currently in the Newcastle team right now.
Callum Wilson.
Callum Wilson, fucking course. Callum Wilson. Yeah, Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson.
Okay, boys. Okay, right. Next question. Can you name me the only animal that cannot jump?
Snake. It's got no legs.
No,
snakes can jump. I've seen them.
Hey, I would just like to clarify: is that in Coventry or outside of it?
We've never seen a snake, Martin. In Ireland, there are no snakes.
No snakes in Ireland. No.
This is going to be.
You'll get it if you have a think about it.
Like a kangaroo with no legs or something. Something stupid. Is this a trick question or real?
No, it's real. It's real.
I've never seen
And it's like, by the way, boys, it's a well-known animal. It's not like a random animal. It's a well-known animal. If you think about it, you'll get it.
Elephant's not a bad shout, to be fair.
Say elephant. Elephant.
Oh, Country City. Elephant.
Elephants. Is this about Cov City? Elephants.
You like the little link in there.
See, now you're seeing where we're going with this quiz, lads.
That was a good one, Chris. If
a lot of work goes into this, boys.
You know what, Chris? That's probably one of the best questions you come up with, and you've been doing this for weeks.
Thank you. Oh, but by the way, it gets better. There's another one. But anyway, so true or false, lads? The German goalkeeper Olivier Kahn has never won the World Cup. So is that true or false?
Well, they fucking won the World Cup about 3 times.
Say the question again.
True or false? The German goalkeeper Olivier Kahn has never won the World Cup. So has he or hasn't he?
I think it's false because I swear he cried when they lost their last World Cup in the final. I don't know if that's right or
wouldn't that make it?
So are you saying he hasn't won the World Cup, or you think he has?
Won the World Cup.
So is the statement true? He's never won the World Cup.
So the statement's true. Yeah, I think it is. Personally, well, why do
I don't know. So
why would you ask that? No one would ask that question unless it was bollocks. You know what I
mean? Finally, there's a band that have found Chris Hall out. Thank God.
Yes. It's gotta be bollocks. So yeah.
So we say true. Yeah. Say true. Okay, boys. Lovely. Right. Okay. As things stand, how many points do Coventry currently have in the Championship?
38, 36.
Daz, what are you playing at?
Jesus, Daz, shots. No, whack. Give it another quick whack there, Daz.
Give it a quick go.
38.
Yeah.
Okay, boys. Okay. Right. Okay, this next one, number 9. Who was James Bond immediately before the current James Bond that is Daniel Craig?
Who was it?
Oh, good question.
Rick Waller? Was it Rick Waller? Is it a COD player?
Peace and love.
Another T-shirt there for your dad.
Peter Unlove was James Bond. Institute on the back. There's another one.
Bond of Cov.
Wears suits from CNA, that guy.
There he is.
I don't think it was Pierce Brosnan. There was one in Pierce Brosnan was a bit like
he was 96-ish, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was pure.
There was no one in between them two.
I think right. I think there wasn't anyone in between.
There wasn't anyone in between.
There's got to be some.
I don't even like James Bond. I think he's a better, honestly.
Okay.
There's another T-shirt.
Yeah.
James Bond is a shit
even like
geezer.
James Bond.
Loaded T-shirts.
Yeah.
Institute quotes. I'm saying no. There was one after.
I think
there
was one after.
There was definitely one. Weren't there a crap one? No, there was like Doctor Who's. There was loads of shit ones. Weren't there?
I think it's Pierce Brosnan.
There was a ginger one.
I think it's Pierce Brosnan because they did the Pierce Brosnan ones, then they did nothing. And
then
Daniel Craig.
2000.
You say it, and then if we lose,
Daniel Craig's been Bond for
forever.
12 years now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Pierce Brosnan.
Okay. Final answer.
Okay, boys.
Chris.
Okay.
Next question.
Right now, you like this one. Okay, so question number 10. Coventry City's iconic badge consists of an elephant stood on a football and a castle on top of that elephant. How many pillars make up the castle?
3. Thank you.
Ooh, that was
okay, boys.
that was rapid.
I'll get to the real question next.
I'll tell you what, boys.
What was the name of the elephant?
Okay, so question number 11. To make an Irish coffee, what alcohol ingredient would you use?
Fucking Baileys, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Baileys, coffee, and
that's it, just coffee and Baileys.
Coffee and Baileys, isn't it?
And anything that's left at the end of the night.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
and anything that's left.
Yes.
Okay.
As in tonight.
Have you ever had
question number 12?
Coffee. They're nice.
Question number 12. Can you tell me the name of Madonna's first single?
Oh, Holiday. Holiday. It was proper. I like Madonna.
I like to sing song, boys. I love that.
Holiday, maybe. Or Holiday.
Got me there.
What about? Hang on. fucking what's the other one about? No, she didn't just have 2 songs, but what was her other one? Fucking
I don't know.
Holiday.
Chronology.
Holiday
No,
could
it
be,
ain't
yeah,
Holiday.
could be.
It might be Holiday, but there was one a bit fucking cheesier. So the cheesier it was, the earlier it was, I think. Then she got all sophisticated and shit and got rubbish. But I think
There was.
Material World.
Could be
Could be
material.
that.
Living. Nah, that's too good for a first track. I think Holiday. Holiday. We'll go with. Is this
You've said that about.
Is this another Coventry City trick question?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Or something?
Is it counter?
Is the first song called Hillfields? I don't know. I think let's just go with fucking Holiday.
You said it.
You going with that, boys? Okay. So, right. I hope you know this because I got slagged off for asking a similar question last week, but I reckon you're going to know this, boys. Right. So, horse racing question. In 2020, which Willie Mullins trained horse won the Cheltenham Gold Cup? So last year's Cheltenham Gold Cup winner.
I ain't got a clue, mate. Honestly, I forgot.
I think it's...
all I know is like Red Rum. That's about it.
Sure.
I'll tell you, it wasn't Red Rum.
They weren't Red Rum because he's probably dead now, isn't he?
It's all on you.
God
Hold
bless
on.
him.
I can't think.
And I believe he's the favourite for this year, if that's any help.
I think someone's just texted me the answer, actually.
No.
Well,
No.
phone a friend is an option, so we will allow that.
Can we call a friend?
Can anyone on the panel help?
I don't know. Would you be? I would have gone Tiger Roll, but
No, I'll tell you what.
I can't think, and I know I probably lost money on it last year. Oh, Jesus.
It's one of them. When you say it, you'll go,
No, yeah, it's like.
Can we just like
No,
it should be easy to think of a random horse name, though. You know, like
Yeah, there's got to be the right one.
Yeah,
it's a very unusual name, by the way. It's a very
think of
unusual name, I've got to say.
Okay,
Okay, boys.
No, go on.
Do you want to give me a random guess?
I ain't got a clue. What's the one that won the national? There's that one that won the national, isn't there? The fucking famous one that there's.
No, I don't think it's it. I don't think it's that.
No.
I can't think.
Pass.
Pass. Okay, boys. Okay, no problem.
Move on.
No problem. Okay, now last question. What is the largest ocean in the world?
That will be the fucking. It's got to be the Pacific, isn't it? Got to be the Pacific.
You're just saying the only one you know.
No, wait, yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, I wagged it every day at school. I didn't really, actually, Dad.
Is it the Atlantic? I don't know.
It ain't the Atlantic. Irish Sea? No,
Boys, breaking news. Sorry, I've got to interrupt you. Breaking news. Birmingham are 2-1 up.
Oh, no.
Sorry, boys. Sorry. Goal. Yep. Sorry, guys.
God.
Birmingham 2-1 up. I'll let you know how many minutes are left. Yeah, 15 minutes left.
Oh, God.
Sorry, boys. Put a damper on it there, didn't I?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be tough.
15 minutes, yeah.
What was the question again?
Largest ocean.
Yeah, sorry, boys. What is the largest ocean in the world?
I would say it's got to be the Pacific, no, I'd say Pacific
let's say that.
I'd say Pacific
I don't
Ocean.
like geography.
Pacific.
Okay, boys. Okay, right.
And
Nice,
Harley,
the end.
sorry, just to come back, Harley Dean scored for Birmingham, boys. Sorry.
Bastard.
Unbelievable.
I'm only reading out the scores, lads. Come on.
Right, boys.
No, you're right.
Not about him.
Boys, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. So the good news is you're in with a chance of coming out on top of the quiz.
What the fuck?
13 points. 13 points. So you've done fantastically well. The bad news is you got 2 wrong, and I'm going to run through them. Now I reckon one of you are going to pull me on this, but I'm telling you, this is what I studied and this is what I've seen. So I've got to go with your answer, okay? So the 2 that you got wrong, well, I'm sure no surprise. For the horse racing question, which you passed, the Cheltenham Gold Cup winner last year was Al Boom Photo.
I'm not even joking. I knew it was.
He actually
Yeah.
trained that horse as well. Fucking hell.
You could have said
The other question that you got wrong, which may be a bit controversial, was unfortunately to make an Irish coffee, what alcohol ingredient would you use? The answer was whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah.
No, I want to.
I know you said Bailey's, and
Yeah,
you can have
have a
Bailey's.
Bailey's coffee,
I'm
but
not
an
knocking
Irish
it.
coffee,
little bit late.
traditional. Yeah.
I'm not knocking it.
Oh,
Yeah. A traditional Irish coffee is made, unfortunately, with whiskey, boys. I'm sorry. You can have a Bailey's coffee.
You're talking to people from the land of.
We're from Coventry.
Quick save.
We have gravy with mud in it. That's our.
I was from Newcastle, lads, but it's got alcohol, and I'm all up for anything that has. So there you go.
Right, boys. But the good news is,
you know what I mean?
The good news is you've got 13 points, and you've got a chance to finish joint top of the leaderboard. Okay. Now again, boys, I've had to go with an Irish question this week. It's Paddy's Day. I've got a stage additional, but what I'm going to say is, because it's a special show, I'm going to let Martin or Daz help you with this one, because I think you might struggle with it, because I didn't have a fucking clue, to be honest, of the answer to this. So, right.
Now we'll have to listen.
St. Patrick's Day, and I had to stick with the Irish theme. So, boys, your question is, what are pear-picking porky, joker, and poly pineapples? Now, I'm going to give you the multiple choice. So the answers are, as a possibility, you've got whiskey, you've got card games, you've got mushrooms, or you've got lollipops.
I thought it was the person that Reed was crying about in the bus.
So I'll repeat it anyway. What are pear-picking porky, joker, and poly pineapples? Are they whiskey, card games, mushrooms, or lollipops? Daz, Martin, if you can help them.
I don't think it's a card game.
Lollipop.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a card game.
Lollipops. You ain't going to overcomplicate the name of a lollipop, are you?
No.
It's just for your kids.
True,
Have
true,
this and fuck
true.
off. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Are you? And we don't have lollipops, do we? It ain't mushrooms, because mushrooms are shit anyway.
Could be.
But then again, in Ireland, mushrooms are like a delicate, They're like, oh, it's
Potatoes and mushrooms. That's all we know.
Yeah, potatoes and mushrooms. Yeah.
You know? But,
Just say the question again, Chris, will you?
Okay, so what are pear-picking porky, joker, and poly pineapples? Are they whiskey, card games, mushrooms, or lollipops?
I actually think it's mushrooms now.
I really want you to come top, boys. I really want you to come top.
I do know the answer.
But if I say mushrooms, nod. Mushrooms.
We can help you. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. So I think it's mushrooms because, like, is this a drug mushroom or is this just a normal mushroom?
Is it a lollipop? Yeah.
I
said lollipops first.
Do you know what? I think it's lollipops.
Boys, I'm not being funny. Who calls a lollipop a pear pick and porky a joke?
The Irish do. What's wrong with it? We do need to take your final answer, lads.
Yeah.
What's your final answer, boys?
I think
lollipops.
Yeah, lollipops.
Joint top of the leaderboard.
There you go,
boys.
Congratulations.
Can I just say, Chris, we answered 5 questions right for the football players. Do we get 5 or 2 for that?
Mate, right, you're getting 2 points. You got your 2 points. You're quite right. And what I'm going to do is, I'm glad you brought that up because you did answer 5, but you're getting 2 points. But I will run through the players who you didn't get. Okay. So the ones you didn't get, you were right with Biggie Romani, you were right with Huckabee, you were right with Kilcline, you were right with Mickey Quinn, and I love the song by the way, and you were right with Callum Wilson. The ones that you didn't mention that you could have said were Craig Bellamy, who was one of my faves. I thought he was fantastic. You've got Leon Best.
Don't say. No.
You've got Adam Armstrong.
You've got great player, fucking great.
And you've got Kevin Gallagher, who I was also.
Gallagher, mate. He was a
yeah. Some big players. I probably missed them, but they were the highlight ones anyway. But well done, boys.
Very good. Well done. So at the end of that, then, without too much help from the Irish contingent of this panel.
So,
the institutes are joint top with the underclass, first place with 15 points, boys.
Make sure we're top because alphabetically we're actually top.
Alphabetically, you are top, yes. With the THE and then the I. So, yes, you boys are top. Well done, fellas. Well done.
Well done, boys. Well done. Well done.
Lads, as I'm running out of space in this leaderboard, there's only one or 2 more weeks left, I think. And then we have to start a fresh one. So,
yep, we will indeed. Very good. All right, Daz. What's next,
I think it's time to move on. Nice to round off the 60-minute quiz there. Nice and early today.
That was the longest quiz I've ever
It's getting better though, boys, isn't it? It's getting better.
Chris,
getting better. Some good answers.
Quiz, honestly.
Oh yeah, it was his fault.
You have to book a week off work if you have to do a pub quiz with you.
Mate, it takes ages. Honestly, it takes ages.
Love it.
Are you ready, Richie?
I am, yes. It's loaded 11.
Nice one, Richie.
Hey, we're going to need another hour for Daz's one now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
10 slides, two highlight videos.
Just before we do start, let's just make sure the boys here, lads in the studio there, do you guys in the band, do you want to hang back with us for a while, enjoy the bit of crack while we talk about the rest of this crap? Or do you want to head off? Do you want to stay with us?
We'll stay with you.
Mate, yeah.
Absolutely. Good crack. All right, sit back and relax while we make a complete fuck of the rest of the show, but stay with us anyway.
And also, lads, have a think about your favorite left winger ever. Okay, that's going to be the topic of discussion tonight.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Oh, Jeremy Corbyn.
Darren Huckabee.
So, Richie, tell us about who won last week.
Yes, so last week, Patrick Vieira.
I told you, Vieira.
Sorry, Rich. I can't believe that. Sorry.
Jamie's pick.
But the funny thing, and I thought, which I took out of this, was the person that's got his position named after him comes third.
Mate, it's mental.
Well,
it's mental.
yeah.
Chris's
You know
pick,
what though,
it's
Richie? I will say your build
Mental.
up about the whole Makaleli thing was very, very good, but absolutely a waste of time.
Sorry.
And there,
So Patrick
Vieira
Vieira. So I dropped out last week. The Manc comes in and takes my spot, picks an Arsenal player when we thought he would take Roy Keane.
Yeah.
And the Arsenal player chosen by a Man United fan goes into the team.
Congratulations, Jamie.
Yeah,
Well
well
done,
done, Jamie. At least you pick good Premier League players, Jamie. Can't believe that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right,
Look,
Chris, let's go to you.
Let's go, boys.
And who is your selection for left winger?
Okay, boys, I've really upped it a notch. I mean, can I just say, by the way, before we start, and I'm not making excuses, I'm actually bigging everyone up here. I've got to say, this left wing position this week it's major. I mean, really, any one of us could win it. It's absolutely fantastic looking at the different players that we've all picked. But I'm going to talk about my pick now, and my pick is the one, the only, George Best. There he is, Big George. I think I found you a genius. There you go. That's all I really need to say. But you know what? I've done a little bit of research on George. Okay, so George Best is still regarded as one of the best players in the history of football. Bear that in mind, everyone, when you're watching this. The history of football. Okay, he started his career at Manchester United. Now, this is a bit random, so bear with me. And went on to play for other clubs such as Stockport County, LA Aztecs, Hibs, San Jose Earthquakes, Hong Kong Rangers, Bournemouth, Brisbane Lions, and finished up at Tobermoor United. Yes, that's Tobermoor United. Okay. He made a total of 705 appearances with a total of 251 goals. That's more than 1 in 3. And let's not forget, boys, that's for an old-fashioned winger. Not the wingers that we have today. This is your old-fashioned left winger, not a striker. And he's a 1 in 3 player. So that's pretty impressive in itself. He made 37... He made 37 international appearances for Northern Ireland and he scored 9 goals. He won the Football League twice with Man United, the European Cup. He won the European Footballer of the Year, which is now known as the Ballon d'Or. He's individually been showered with personal awards such as the Football League Legends, BBC Sports Personality of the Year, Lifetime Achievement Award. He's in FIFA's 100 Greatest Living Players, and that was announced in 2004, a Golden Foot Award, and he was named in Team of the Century. Not the year, the century. This is George Best, okay? Now, lads, I could go on, but I'm going to stop there. But what I want to leave you all, what I want to leave you and all the viewers at home with is a few George Best quotes. Now, personally, this is going to be my favourite part of it, okay? George Best quotes, okay? I spent a lot of money on booze, beards, and fast cars, and the rest I just squandered. He also said, I used to go missing a lot. Miss Canada, Miss UK, Miss Wales. And one of my favourite ones, in 1969, I gave up women and alcohol. It was the worst 20 minutes of my life. So, boys, George Best isn't just a left winger, okay? He was a legend of the game. Vote George Best.
Okay.
Good call, Chris. Good call. I'll see your George Best, and I'll raise you Ronaldinho. I look to my notes. Ronaldinho, yes, one of the football's greatest entertainers. Played as attacking midfielder or winger. Played for Gremio, played 89, scored 47. PSG, played 55, scored 17. Barcelona, played 145, scored 70. AC Milan, played 76, scored 20. Flamengo, played 56, scored 23. Atletico Mineiro, played 58, scored 20. I'll stop there. He played in Mexico and back to Brazil again. He won 2 FIFA World Player of the Years, 1 Ballon d'Or. He made football look better with his creativity and his tricks. He was the second Barca player ever to get a standing ovation at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid. He also played for Brazil, of course. And he played 97 times, scored 33 goals. At age 13, listen to this. I thought this was really interesting. He scored all 23 goals in a 23-0 victory over a local team. So he scored the 123-0, and he scored all 23 goals. He nearly joined Man United and City over the course of his career as well. With Brazil, he won the Copa America, the World Cup, Federations Cup. He won titles in Brazil, Spain, Italy. He won the Champions League. Won numerous individual awards as well, and he's currently an ambassador at Barcelona on a 10-year deal. That is Ronaldinho.
I thought he was in jail, to be honest.
He had some issues with passport, but we won't go there. We won't go there.
Yeah. He was a
great player,
a world-class star who had a problem in printing passports. But anyway, allegedly.
Okay. Over to you, brother.
Over to me. Okay. Well, I think George Best was a good shout. You know, the weird thing with George Best is it's hard to believe he only played so few times for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it's mad.
Crazy considering the playing that he had. I think Ronaldinho's a really good shout, but on the other hand, I think it's shit. So I think what I will do is I will introduce to you probably one of the best, or if not the best, left winger that there has ever been, and I think there is only one, and that is Manchester United's Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs, a one-time cap for England under 19s, and then obviously went on to play for Wales, and obviously currently the Welsh manager, although for some reason he's not allowed to, but that's not being disclosed as why. He had his debut with Manchester United in 1991 and spent 23 years with United in their first team. He was never, ever out of it. From 2013 to 2014, he was the interim manager for Man United and obviously now Wales. His honours from 1990 to 2014 include 692 appearances, 114 goals, of which probably one of the most famous was his shirt-off celebration after his wonder goal against Arsenal in the FA Cup, when he pretty much ran from his old goal line right through Arsenal's team and put it in the top corner past Seaman. With regards to looking at Ronaldinho's stats comparing to Ryan Giggs, 13 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, 3 League Cups, 9 Community Shields, 2 Champion Leagues, 1 UEFA Super Cup, 1 Intercontinental Cup, 1 FIFA World Cup. He also made a pot noodle for his mother once. He was created and made an OBE in 2007. He is the only player ever to spend 22 consecutive seasons in the Premier League, and is the only player ever in Premier League history to score in 21 consecutive seasons. So I think you can take your George Best with his big ball and his squandering of money. I think you can take your Ronaldinho with his dodgy passport history. And I think you vote for Ryan Giggs, who is just an absolute fucking legend. End of. And obviously he wasn't very happy with his brother, allegedly. On to you, Richy, sir.
Well, just following on from Daz's comment there, it must have been the Villa goal that got his brother's girlfriend enticed, mind, so it mustn't have.
Allegedly.
But anyway, going on from you, 3 good picks. George Best, he was fantastic in his heyday, one of the lads, probably what we'd look as an idol ourselves, Jack the Lad sort of thing. Ronaldinho, yeah, good. That's fantastic free kick against David Seaman. Not saying any more about that. And Ryan Giggs, I would probably say, to play in the Premier League for how long he did is probably one of the best left wingers there's ever been in the Premier League. However, I have wrote the facts down. I've done my research, but I think the picture will say it all. Go on, Daz.
Did you send me a picture, Richie?
No, but you did say you had one, so I know it's there. So I don't need to.
You may have research, but you didn't send a picture.
Daz, I hope this is the crappiest picture ever, please.
Yeah, I hope it's.
I really wish it was now. I really do. I'm going to go and come back when Richie's finished. Take it away, Richie.
Oh, right, okay. Fair enough, okay.
Oh, here.
It says it all.
Okay.
It says it all. You know what I mean? You look at all those different trophies he's holding up with different clubs and personal trophies. But
trophies.
four clubs over his career. He started Sporting before going to Man U, Real Madrid, and Juve. He's won honours at international level and domestic level, and obviously a hell of a lot of individual ones. But he's international honours. He's won the European Championship in 2016 and also the Nations League in 2019 with Portugal. And bear in mind, Portugal had never won anything beforehand, and you could probably count on one hand the names in the Portugal squad. Just to one of the reasons why Portugal have done so well is because of Ronaldo himself. Domestic honours, he won the Super Cup with Sporting before going on to win 9 domestic honours with Man United, 3 Premier Leagues, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups, the Community Shield, the Champions League and the Club World Cup before moving on to Real Madrid, where we know he had a fantastic career. Whilst at Real Madrid, he won the Liga twice, Copa del Rey twice, the Super Copa twice, the Champions League 4 times, the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup 3 times as well. At Juve, he won the league twice and the Super Cup twice. But individually, there's only one other player that's up there, but obviously we're not discussing this player this week, but we will in the next couple of weeks, no doubt. He's won the Ballon d'Or 5 times. He's the World Player of the Year. See that? So, all right, we're cutting this short because obviously we know who the winner is this week. But since we're doing that and we want to have a little bit of his personal records, he's only one of a few players to have played over 1,000 pro games and scored over 770 goals, which is a hell of a record. And if you actually look at his goal record at Real Madrid, he actually scored more goals at Real Madrid than he actually made appearances. He's scored 134 goals and the most assists in the Champions League. And he's only the second player to score 100 international goals and his first European to do that. Says it all.
You know what, Mitch? I just wanted to add 2 things in dead quickly. I mean, Martin was talking before about Gerrard being a winner. I think when you're talking about winners, to be fair, Cristiano Ronaldo is a serial winner.
Is as good as they come.
Yeah, he's absolutely superb. And also, I just wanted to add, in terms of, the argument over Messi and Ronaldo, I've always been a Ronaldo fan myself, and I think you touched on it there, in terms of the way he lifts his country. If you look at that Portugal side and the trophies that they've won under Ronaldo, he drives that country himself. I mean, you look at Argentina. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Messi, but Messi, has yet to win a real major honor with Argentina. And if you look at what Ronaldo's won with Portugal, it's ridiculous. And if you compare the Portugal team and the Argentina team, it's night and day for me. Night and day.
The thing is, I'm the same as you, Chris. I've always been a Ronaldo fan because he's done it at different clubs.
Yeah.
At Man United, yes, he was probably more of a squad at Man United, but at the other at Real Madrid and Juve, he's got to be the superstar. But he's got the individual accolades to go with it, but he's also got the team accolades to go with it. It hasn't all been about him.
Unbelievable.
So, he's a hell of a player.
Could he do it on a wet, windy night in Highfield Road at Coventry? Is the question.
He probably could.
He probably could. Yeah. I don't know why we're even saying that. Yeah, he would.
Players could.
Yeah.
Lads, we'll go to ye. We'll go to the institutes. What do you think? Who would you put in left wing?
Well, clearly none of you have heard of Stephen Froggatt.
I have.
Shining the light on all these tanned up 6-pack fucking wankers. But Ronaldo and that with all his trophies and shit. But I think there's a lot of I'm Scottish. I'm English.
What?
I'm English, but my heritage is Scottish. So like I'm a Curry, which is a Scottish name, but there's a lot of old Scottish footballers that I loved who were actually fucking brilliant. If you watch the English game, a lot of the old Scottish players were the first guys to get paid in Scottish football. There's a guy called Alan Morton from like the 1920s. He was in 1920. He scored, I think, a hat-trick against England. Scotland beat. He was a left winger. He won the league with Rangers many a times in the 1920s. But you can see very rare footage of him. But he was like one of the first guys doing all these skills and stuff. He was actually an innovator of your Ronaldos with fucking 700 scissor fucking kicks when he's in the fucking shower. You know what I mean? But Alan Morton for me, left winger for Rangers, Queen's Park. He went to play in England at some point, but Scottish international, great footballer, amazing. But yeah, I'm not going to go with one of these modern guys because Steve McManaman actually, I liked him, but
good shout.
Alan Morton, yeah,
okay.
I'm sticking with Steve Froggatt.
Stick to your guns.
We'll stick him in the ball. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'll have to go Giggsy myself.
Yeah, I think Giggsy's a winner.
I was probably 10 at the time when he was amazing, and he was just everything he did, every match of the day you watch. Yeah, he was just class. Everything he did.
Yeah,
he was brilliant.
He looked pretty cool and that with hair and shit.
Yeah.
I think any of the four, as I said,
any of the four will be worthy winners. Yeah,
absolutely.
But obviously, Giggs will be better. So.
Ronaldo's going to get it, lads. I think. Yeah,
he might do.
I like Ronaldo though. I don't like him. He's just something about him.
He's so good, man. So good.
I know, but like, he's just got like a big glittery floor and that. Like, I hate it. Watch shit like we're used to watching Corrie and that. I'm thinking that's paradise. You know what I mean? Watch him. I don't like him.
Very good.
He's obviously that's Ronaldo's class.
Ronaldo's class, but he's superhuman, isn't he? Like they should make a league.
Yeah, he is superhuman. Yeah,
he is, yeah. Can't argue with what he's won, and he's decorated, isn't he?
Exactly.
That's. I think we need to move on.
Let's move on, boys.
It's just a shout out, first of all, just for everyone to go and subscribe to us. As we've mentioned earlier, there is a competition coming up for our subscribers. So yeah, we see all these subscribers coming through, and we'll have a little prize for someone when we get to talk about it in our planning meeting, lads. And Richie, I think you're going to tell us about what's happening next week.
Yeah. So go on, put the picture up on. So next week, as per usual, we've got the normal loaded headlines, loaded leaderboard, loaded tune with special guest Deco. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of Deco, but if you haven't, seriously, go out there, check them out. Lovely 80s style themes, brilliant mashups. Well, great to have them on the next week. With loaded quiz, loaded mystery guest, possibly, and our loaded 11 to round it off. You can follow us on Twitter at loadedhq1, Instagram, loadedhq, and subscribe to Loaded HQ on YouTube. If you like this the show tonight, give us a like, and you'll also subscribe to the channel. It's free. Much appreciated.
Nice and Richie. And we've also mentioned already the Spotify that you've put together, Richie, and we'll be adding to that as we get more people, more bands joining us on the shows. So that's great. Just to actually follow on that, because I know the lads pulled up on it before. The reason they realised they had the last two on the thing, it's only because we've actually put them on in week order that the guests were on. So that's the only reason why you're at the bottom. The best way to do it anyway, I always shuffle the playlist. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather be the last two tracks. You know what I mean? I'd rather
you won't be next week.
Yes, Kerr, legend. Our mates watching. Yeah, can we just quickly say we're going to give away a free T-shirt tonight? I've only been to the gym 3 times, so.
In 10 years.
Yeah. If you go onto the Loaded website, okay, Loaded.
Loaded HQ.
You get a free T-shirt from the band. These are exclusive.
Oh, nice, boys. Nice.
Fair play to you, boys.
Oh, look at that, boys.
Look at that.
Oh, class.
I've lost loads of weight.
Have you?
Anyone watching the show, there's no free T-shirt. It's mine.
because Daz will fit into it now.
Large T-shirt. Ollie's going to ask a question. Please don't go to Google.
No Google. Right. In 2007, who scored 2 goals at Old Trafford in the Carling Cup for Coventry City?
Against Manchester United. Now, you lads, you can't answer. You might know it, but don't tell anyone. All right?
Okay.
I was there at
Steve
that game.
Kerr will get it.
Kerr will get it. He's going to answer within seconds, I guarantee you. But yeah, if you get it, we'll send this out. Well, I'll probably bring it to your house and run there. Free t-shirt.
Happy days. Fair play, boys. That's a great.
Well done, boys. Nice one. Well done.
Obviously, any
Twitter of Loaded. Okay.
So
not our Twitter.
Exactly. So there you go, guys. You got to put the answer up. Get in touch with us, and we'll get in touch with the boys from the band, and we'll get a t-shirt out to you somehow. So fair play to the boys. Daz, what else have we got, lad? Is that it for today?
That's it. Yeah, we just want to say goodbye. I just want to say thanks to the Institute for coming on. Thanks for viewers of watching. Thanks for the t-shirt, lads. Love it. But yeah, thanks, and happy Paddy's Day. And
thanks for having us, mate. Absolutely brilliant show, by the way.
Yeah,
Top geezers.
Cheers, lads.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
We'll be back.
Richy?
Can't wait to have you on again, boys. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great to have the Institute on. Thank you very much for the t-shirt. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Also, lads, well done on this. Coventry going back to the Rico from next year for 10 years. That's really, really good that you're back to your home ground. And I must say, the song that we're going to play out with is my favourite. I do love Healing Time, mate. It's a fantastic song, lads. Well done.
Time. Yes, banger.
Okay. From me, obviously, I've been chatting to the boys for a period of time now. So look, I am, as I said at the start of the show, without blowing smoke, love the tunes. I'm really delighted to have had you on. I was really, really looking forward to this one, especially being Paddy's, because obviously to me and Daz, it's a special day for us. So look, keep up the good tunes. As and when things open up, and I have said this to most of the bands that have been on, but as it does open up and you guys do get the gig, will you please work out something and come across to Ireland and put something on out here for us, and we'll come and see you, and we'll have a few Guinness over here, which is as and when we can get travel back going. So keep up the good tunes. Absolutely love them. And listen, thanks seriously for coming on, and we'll see you all really soon.
God bless the Pope. God bless Ireland.
Boys,
cheers, lads.
Thank you very much for coming on, boys. Loved it. Well done on the quiz. Top of the shop. And as the lads have already said, it's been great having you on, and can't wait to have you on again in the future. I'd love you to come back if you'd be willing to.
Yeah, absolutely, anytime.
Absolutely. Well, look, we'll keep promoting you. We'll keep throwing the songs out there. Again, the boys have offered up the t-shirt. We've got the question there, but what we'll do is we'll throw it up on the Twitter and that later on in conjunction with the band. But in the meantime, we'll close out. So the boys from the Institute, will you please introduce your play out song?
We don't know what it is.
Healing Time.
For the Institutes, this is Healing Time.
That's good night from all of us.
Go on, Coventry.
Guys, run the music.
See you there, lads.
See you later, boys. Good night.